What's up, fellas? All right, this is my quick tutorial video of just paints and joints and all that other stuff, or dry brushing technically. So this is the figure that I'm gonna work with so far. All right, this is him before. I just brought him down to show you guys what he looked like before. So this is him, right? So as far what I did was I put some sticky pads on this thing, stood him up like that outside, sprayed him with this stuff. Works good. I would go with satin because satin is kind of like an in between matte and gloss. So this is what he looks like. All right. So now as far as the joints is concerned, all right, you're gonna see this with me too. Like you see that, and I'm gonna bend it. Aha! You see where it peeled. So what I do is I'll do this a little bit, right? So that's where the joint is. So that from here, what I'll do is I'll take my Dremel. You could find this Dremel. It's just cheap, like a bootleg hardware store. There's different tips. Use a pointy tip, drill that out. Or what you can do is once that paint comes off a little bit like that, take like a little knife, scrape off that excess paint, and use some good like thin amount of this paint. And sometimes it works because look, I'll show you right here. I believe I did it right here. You see that? It's coming off a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll stress it out for a little bit so I know exactly where it's rubbing. I could either cut that piece right there on the top so that way it stops to rub, or I'll throw some of this paint on, a thin amount, kind of like almost like a dry brush on it, and I'll heat it up. That way it kind of like it'll or heat up with the plastic and it'll stain it more. This side, you see how this side is actually not too bad. Look at that. See? That's why sometimes it's good to paint it before you start sanding, because sometimes guys will take their stuff apart and they'll be sanding everything, and then sometimes you don't even need it. Like this one doesn't even really need it, to be honest with you. Like maybe just a little touch up of a little bit more paint, but look at that. It's just fine. Here, I painted here too. Like when I painted it, I missed some paint, but look at that. There's pretty much hardly no rub there. There is. I'll just take a little sandpaper and just hit that up and then repaint it, and it's not even that bad. All right. So I'm gonna move on to dry brush. Give me a second. All right. So what you can do is just get like any kind of silver paint. Make sure it's acrylic. Make sure it's an acrylic paint. This is an acrylic. It is. I'm gonna say, but you go to Walmart and find. Like I use this one for dark. I like this one because it's lighter. If you can, and you find a silver acrylic, get a lighter silver. It just sometimes it works better, but they're fairly cheap, so you can buy both. But I usually go with this lighter silver when I'm going against a straight black. All right, and I'm gonna show you real quick how to dry brush, because this stuff goes a long way. Hold on, let me get it set up real quick. All right, so just grab a brush. I usually use a flat tip, a flat square brush. Now, this is old. This one's pretty old. This is like my dry brushing brush. It's whatever. Make sure you have like some water to just wash your brush. All right, babe, come back over here. All right, so I don't have my pan out here, but I'm just gonna show you. I'm just using a little bit. So what I do with this, right? It's a little bubble. So I get like fairly about like half of the brush, or just maybe like a decent amount on the brush. Not too much. I don't need the whole thing swimming in paint. So I get that right, and then what I do is come over here. I take majority of it off. So I'll take that off. Then I go to the dry spot, take some more off, and then so now look at this. So now it's pretty much almost all off, right? Look at that. See, it's pretty much all off. So then from here, this is all black. So what I'll do is I'll just like if you're dusting your countertops or your flat screen TV, you don't want to knock it over. You just lightly dust it. You just want to dust it all over. And sometimes you'll see In the beginning, it'll look like nothing's getting on, like you're just dusting. And as you can see, let that focus in. You can see it's getting on there compared to like the black side. You see it's getting on there. And if I want to go a little heavier, I'll take a little bit more paint. I'll take majority of it off. I like to get the entire brush kind of like a little damp, and then I just brush to make sure some of it's off. Just keep messing with that, and then boom, start doing it again. I can go like a little bit more, and then the definition and all them details will start coming out hell of a lot more. Look at that. You see that? Oh, let me see. I'm holding it upside down and you can see it better like that. You see how it starts? See how the black stays under there and then just brings out the details? And that's just black with a dry brush of silver, right? So you could do that because I actually liked how this armor, like I love these boots on these armor, but I just did like it was just all silver. But then you could see the difference. See how that comes out a lot better, and then you could continue all through the armor wherever you want to paint at. And then and then here's another trick. Like as far as like the guns, I painted this one gun up broke. This was just a 1-2-3 gun. So for this, like sometimes with different things, it depends on how you want to do it. If you want to make the whole thing silver and look like he's battle worn, you could do that. Sometimes you don't have to always go crazy with the dry brush, because like with my guns, I don't usually go all like that. Sometimes I'll just go in a one direction to make it look like. So I'll go down on it like this, right at the tips. You know, sometimes you could do that. You know, you can also play with it. See, play with it, go up, down, however you want to do it, and see if you like it. And then just a little bit. That's all I need, just a little bit. And that was just a quick one. I mean, obviously, this could be done better. Usually I get a smaller one and I'll just lightly dab it on. But this is just a quick. This is just like a quick little tip. Oh, and one other thing. Okay, boom. Here goes another thing real quick. How was I gonna say this? All right, so if you're painting, right? Say you get a figure like this, and you spray them up with this can, right? You let them dry for a little bit, and then you notice some spots are shinier than others. Example, the last one I did was this dude, right? When I did it, oh fuck, the damn thing is not even showing. All right, when I did it, all right, so I took this belt off, but when I did it, like his underwear thing, that thing in his underwear, like oh, I can show you this. It's kind of like this rubber soft material, right? If you notice, it'll get like it'll catch the paint a little differently. It'll be like kind of sticky and kind of wet looking, right? To fix that, you know, just to make it simpler, like I say, for instance, I took this guy again. I don't think that this guy didn't have it. This guy didn't have it because it was pretty hard. Yeah, it was pretty hard plastic. But on Storm Shadow, his butt, like if you notice on the G.I. Joes, they have like this rubbery soft. They have like this rubbery soft material that's different from the legs and the chest and all that other shit. So it kind of took the paint differently. It was like you notice this would be like a little more satin, and this would be a lot more glossy. And when you touch it, it felt wet. So to fix that, all you got to do is buy this stuff, man. I'm telling you, this stuff is great. This stuff, you get a little bit, kind of like how you dry brush. You take a little. It's almost like a glue, or like a sealer. You take a little bit, do the same thing. Don't put too much of it on. You know, take a nice hefty amount and just cover it. And then what that'll do, it'll put a layer over it, and it won't be sticky anymore. And then it'll take the paint. It'll take any paints. It'll take paints better. I think that's pretty much it. I think I just wanted to show that real quick. And then my other video with the I think I sent you a couple of you guys the video with the Mod Podge and the black. Like that works out good too, because sometimes I do that too. Like with Destro, I took out some of that gray, but instead of like spray painting the whole thing or whatever, I just took a little bit of the Mod Podge and some of the black. I mixed a little bit up and just went over it like that. so that way it could stick to that plastic, because this plastic, that plastic is like real shiny and it's hard for paint to stick to. So I used the Mod Podge and some of the black a little bit, covered that up, let it dry. Then I went over it with the finishing, like with like a regular decent finish paint. I don't know if I went over already with this guy, but that's what I did. And then it holds up well. Look at that, it holds up well. So that was my so I think that's pretty much it. If I missed something, I probably did miss something because there was a lot of things I wanted to talk about. But you know, not new. I'm not a professional to this video thing. Hopefully that'll help you guys out. But yeah, try that dry brushing out, man. It helps out a lot. And you could use different metallics, golds, silvers, however you want to do it. And this is gonna be one of my guys for the crew, Scar crew. So I'll be working on him today. So hopefully that helps you guys. See you guys later.